Possession.
OK. There's a box under your desk. Would you take the item out of the box first, pop it on the desk, and then read the card?
Wow. This is a Rubik's Cube. True or lie? No, that's This is a Rubik's Cube. Since last series, I've learned to solve it in under a minute. If you don't believe me, I'll do it now with my hands concealed beneath the desk as soon as Rob says go.
There we are. OK.
You'll complete it now in under a minute with your hands below the desk.
I will complete it now in under a minute. Randomly. You can mix it up first if you like, I don't mind. Or Danny, just no one on the opposition, and do it exactly as we rehearsed it.
So, you started this about a year ago?
Yeah.
So is there a technique to this, then?
Yeah. As opposed to, no, you just do that and hope for the best.
Can anybody over there do the Rubik's Cube?
No, but I've watched my son's friend do it, and there is a system.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he was trying to explain it to me, and I got bored and left the room.
Is this something you can do?
I'm rubbish at the Rubik's Cube. I panic.
And you can't do it, Shappy?
No, but I'm really surprised Charlie can't.
Why? People think I'm clever. I'm not. I don't know what a raisin is.
No. It's not a clever thing. I just thought that when you're a kid, you'd spend a lot of time sort of on your own.
Oh, it's an insult. Oh, OK.
What is the system?
Right, the first thing you do is you want to get one side.
And then what?
Well, have a guess.
No,
That's one side. Top layer. Second layer.
Yeah.
Bottom layer. And then, don't worry about the bottom, that's automatic. Because I've never been in a situation where you've done all five, but the bottom one's completely out of whack.
David, do you have any more questions before I ask Lee to attempt the challenge?
So, he does it, he keeps it under there, we say true or lie, and then he brings it up. OK, I'm ready. I don't like this kind of stunt.
Lee, you have a minute. Are you ready?
No.
Would you please tell me when you're ready?
I will. Whenever you're ready, Robert.
3, 2, 1.
How long have I got left?
I'm
45.
genuinely impressed.
I mean, it's going to set on fire in a minute, it's that quick.
How long have I got left?
How long?
Yes.
34.
34 seconds or 34 seconds gone? No. Don't mean 26, or does it mean 34?
You had 34, but that's yesterday's news. We have to assume it's less time now.
Wait.
20 seconds.
No, make it a bit longer.
Quick!
How's it looking, Hannah? 10, 9, 8. Whoa! Whoa, he's done it in under. So, has he done it?
Well, the other two definitely enjoyed watching him fiddle with his groin.
I believed that.
I believe that.
Theatre.
Yeah.
It mattered to you.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could have faked Danny's surprise. There.
It did. That looked pretty realistic. I think it's true.
You think it's true. Out of interest, what do the audience think? True, but not that lady there. OK. Lee, was it true what you just did, or was it a lie?
Well, it was, in fact. Of course it's not true, you idiots. Ooh, possession.
Oh, right, you're going to pick the box up then from under the desk?
Well, you say box.
Oh, sorry, the tube. The tube.
This is my wall map of the UK. I have marked every service station that I have ever visited on it.
Oh, OK.
I can so see him doing that.
Yeah. It's from a man who was criticising somebody else for photographing a beige carpet.
Wow. Sorry, are they little stickers?
Yes.
Sorry?
They're two colours of stickers.
There are 2 colours of
What do
stickers.
they represent?
The orange ones. These are the orange ones, orange ones.
Yeah.
And I've also done blue ones.
But why?
Why? So I could differentiate between the 2 types of service stations.
Why?
I'm about to tell you.
OK, well, come on.
Just give me a second.
Sometimes Lee likes to finish his own sentences, sometimes not.
They are basically 2 differentiating service stations. I use orange if I am heading north and blue if I'm heading south. Or, if I'm heading west, I also go for blue. In east, I go for orange.
Well, you have headed north a lot more than you've headed west or east. I mean, how did you get back here?
They're actually equal if you count them.
Looks like there are loads more orange. Now, that one in Scotland there, on the top...
I can't believe you know where Scotland is, David. Well done.
Near Inverness, there's one.
That one there?
That one there. Reminisce about that.
Do you know, I will reminisce about that. I went through to the main pasty area, where I ordered my Ginster's pasty, and may I say Aberdeen service station, it was absolutely the perfect temperature. This is really hurting my arm.
OK, you can put it down. One more question, though.
One more, have a look.
Yeah, one more question, though.
You don't have to spoil it with the details.
If you want to have a look, they can have a look.
Can they?
Yeah.
These are all motorway serviced.
Yeah. Oh, you're all coming, are you?
Well, you know.
Yeah.
There's an F and an asterisk. What do they denote?
They know fantastic, and the asterisk is there's not a word. Blows my mind. Blows my mind. The asterisk.
And how many years of touring does this represent?
Oh, it's not just touring. I'll do it when I'm on holiday. I'll do it wherever I go.
You know when you said that there were about the same number of orange and blue? There's 7 blues and 33 oranges.
You're going to be laughing on the other side of your face when in the next round I say I am colourblind.
So, David, it's time to take a guess.
Aberdeen service station doesn't ring true.
It's definitely... I wonder, with the Aberdeen one, that's right outside Aberdeen. So you stopped at a service station about 6 minutes after departing.
If it's on empty, I stop and fill it up.
Certainly,
Which 33 times out of 40 happens when heading north.
Yes, it's uphill.
You could... Lie.
You're saying lie quite conclusively. Lee, is it the truth or is it, in fact, a lie?
It is, in fact, a lie.
No.
Possession.
Right, there's a box under the desk, Lee. Now, I'd like you to take the item out of the box and hold the object, then read the card out, please.
This is my dibber. I donated it to the British Lawnmower Museum, where it is now a permanent exhibit.
Right. David.
What is a dibber?
What's a dibber? A dibber? That's a good question, David. And would you believe me if I was to say I don't know? But it's a
Yes, I would.
I'll mime it for you.
That's... Yeah.
Could be any of these.
Okay,
It's to do with gardening.
So what does your dibber do?
Pardon?
What does your dibber do?
Are you Fred Flintstone?
Answer the question. What does your dibber do?
Not 100% sure, but at a guess, I would say that a dibber is for pushing holes in the ground.
Yeah.
And then maybe popping something in there, like a seed.
I see. How did your dibber come to be in the British Lawnmower Museum?
I'll tell you, Inspector Morse. Have you ever been to Southport, my hometown?
I have, yes.
Oh, great. Can I start again? Yes. Right. I have never been to the British Lawnmower. I was online.
But it is in Southport.
It is in Southport,
yeah.
That's true. And I did see it online.
What did you put into Google that came up?
Well, you don't want to know that. But I noticed on the website there was a bit that said the tools of the rich and famous. Famous tools, that's what I typed in.
There is actually, I do know for a fact that there is a British Lawnmower Museum because I myself have donated a trowel.
You haven't?
I have, honestly, Rob. I donated a trowel.
What is this museum?
Surely they want a lawnmower.
So you saw the Lawnmower Museum online. With a list of celebrity artefacts.
There was quite a few. There was Brian May from Queen had given a lawnmower. Joe Pasquale had given a strimmer.
So what happened then?
I thought that'd be a nice thing to do, wouldn't it? Because it's my
Sorry,
hometown.
you saw that and you thought, I want a piece of that.
I want a piece of the action. Prince Charles, he gave some...
This is where the story's falling apart, because one is...
No, that's not where the story's falling apart.
But one is asked to donate to... You don't...
I wanted to donate something. I thought it'd be quite nice to have something of mine, because it's my hometown.
So you picked up the phone?
I picked up the phone. You're still doubting my abilities, are you, Dave?
It's not... It is not your ability to make a phone call.
Who made the phone?
Are you seriously saying that the fact that you could have physically made this phone call means I should believe that you did? You say, look, I could have made the call, I'm physically capable, therefore it happened, David, end of story.
I picked up the phone, I phoned them up, I said, I'd like to donate something. They said, what have you got? I said, dibber.
You knew its name?
Well, actually, yes.
You knew its name, but you didn't know what it was for?
That's actually not true. I said...
So what did you say?
I took advice before the phone call.
From whom?
From who?
From whom?
I'm not doing it if you put an M at the end.
All right. From who?
Thank you. Who's putting the M at the end? Do you know what I mean? No one anymore.
Who did you take advice from?
I shall tell you.
You found a thing in the shed, you didn't know you owned it, you didn't know what it was. Who did you ask about it?
You want to know from who?
I want to know who you asked about that object in order to find out what it was called.
I shall tell you.
Well, please.
David Tennant, or as I call him, Doctor Who.
You asked... Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Who did you ask?
Tom Baker.
There are 7 billion humans on Earth. Please, let's not eliminate them one by one.
I asked my wife.
So, David, what do you think? Is Lee telling the truth or is he lying to us?
Dale?
I don't believe a word of it.
If it is true, it's one of the best acting performances I think I've ever seen.
Thank you. If it's true.
If it's true.
You think it's true?
No, I do not. No, it's a lie.
OK, David, what are you going to say?
We think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie. OK, Lee, truth or lie?
It is, in fact... true. Ooh, possession.
Now, take a look. There's a box under your desk. Place the item from the box on top of the desk first, and then read out the card. Thank you.
This is my lucky dice. I can always roll a 6 with it in 3 goes.
David.
Yeah!
Well, yeah, go on then.
Do you want to know how I came to discover this?
Yes, please.
Just found it in a box.
How long have you had it?
I've had it for about 20 years. The dice. I thought you meant my syphilis.
Where did you get it?
I got it from a woman in Highgate.
I meant the syphilis.
Sorry. I paid for it, $4.99.
Who meant the dice?
Full of spots.
When did you first discover that you had that these dice or die were indeed lucky?
I was walking the back streets of Hong Kong.
Yes.
I'm down this dark alley.
Right.
There's a weird shop staying open late. I go in, a small bell rings, and a small Chinese man was there. Hang on, this is Gremlins, forget this. I got it from Hamleys.
Give us some examples of when you've used this lucky dice.
Well, I've used it. It helped me get together with my first girlfriend.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, that was her name. It wasn't a real name. It was Janet.
Janet. It helped you get together with Janet.
It helped me get together with Janet, my first girlfriend, because she was a big fan of magic.
Right.
And I said, oh, I can do a magic trick. And she said, what's that? I said, see this dice? I can guarantee, at any point I can roll it 3 times, and I'll always get a 6.
And how many times did you do it before Janet said, I love you?
She never expressed her love for me. But after I rolled it once, we slept together.
Well, maybe we should put this lucky dice to the test. Now, to get a proper view, why don't you could come out and use this bit of stage here. You'd be like one of those New York crap shooters from Guys and Dolls.
I mean, when would you like me to get it? Straight away, or would that just ruin it? I think a bit of tension for the last roll.
Bit of tension, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
make it
never
number
gone
3.
wrong in 20 years. I swallowed it. There's the first one. What is it, madam? 5. Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry. Awkward. It's Janet!
So, there's no worries. You've got 2 left.
OK. Here we go. I mean, be honest. It's pretty gripping, isn't it? It's actually pretty gripping stuff, isn't it? Here we go.
Well, people watched Deal or No Deal, didn't they?
Attempt number 2. Here we go. It's a 3. So you're sticking to your promise of waiting for the 3rd roll. Where are you going?
Have a little sit down. So, what do we think? Is it true or is it...
You have to follow through on your promises. Right, here we go.
Come on.
Here we go.
Let me say that I personally am convinced that Lee is telling a lie, but that nevertheless he will now roll a 6.
Here he goes. Lee Mack, 3rd roll. Got to be a 6. It's rolling.
What do you think?
So what numbers did I get? Can anyone remember?
5, 3 and 2.
So they don't add up to 6 either, do they?
What do you think?
Can I just check? Is this definitely the dice I brought in?
I've got an idea. We can make this work by just retake Lee reading the card, and he says, this is my dice, it occasionally rolls a 6.
So, what are you going to say then, Johnny?
Lie.
Lie. Lee, truth or lie?
It was a lie.
Possession.
All right, take out the box, pop it on the desk, and read the card.
It's a set of children's cutlery. This is the children's cutlery I used when I went on a special diet. It helped to make the portions on my plate seem bigger.
David's team, do you believe that?
So, Lee, how long did you use the cutlery for, then?
Well, if it was a big meal, 10 minutes.
In terms of weeks or months?
Nothing was that big.
How long was the period of your life for which you used children's cutlery in order to lose weight?
Swallowed.
I know it doesn't take you that long to invent 6 months.
6 months.
Did you sort of take them, if you were going to a restaurant, did you take them with you?
No, I think you're mixing me up with a lunatic. You know, it's not a great... I mean, Keely, would you really want that on a date if I said, so, how did the tennis go, love? I could take it into the bedroom and go, you don't think it's big? Look at it again. And that's a salad fork, let me tell you.
And what gave you the idea? Where was the inspiration for this?
I read it in a book.
You read it in a book?
Yes.
Which book was that?
The Book of Dieting.
The Book of Dieting?
No, it was a
big book of stupid dieting.
Right, David, what do you think?
It's a lie.
Keely, are you in agreement with the rest of us?
I think that's a lie.
So you're saying no. OK. Lee Mack, were you telling the truth there?
It was a lie. Possession.
Right, under the desk is a box. If you bring the box onto the desk. Now, read the card first and then show us the possession.
I recently took a crash course in taxidermy, by the end of which I've managed to make this.
Can you show us what this is? Pop it onto the desk. David's team, where would you like to begin?
What is it? I can't see.
Can we have a proper look?
That, Sheila, is what I call mouse on a skateboard.
Would you like me to take it across?
Please do.
What's it made of?
Made of mouse. With a little bit of skateboard.
Oh, no! Oh.
How was he killed? He looks like he was...
I should point out that he wasn't killed. He was found dead naturally.
It's like he was found walking down a very small alley.
Careful, took ages.
Oh.
OK, first of all, how long was this course?
This is the first course. The course is... well, it takes place over about 16 weeks, so 4 months.
A crash course that's...
Taxidermy takes years to perfect. This is a crash
and how often did you go?
It happens every week.
Once a week.
For 16 weeks.
That's not a crash course. That's an evening class.
No, not in relation to the proper course to become a professional taxidermist.
Well, that goes on for 25 years and you meet once every 6 months?
That takes 4 years, or until the animal dies.
Can you... How did you do that mouse?
Basically, I found a mouse.
Where?
There, on the stair. Little clogs on. I found the mouse actually in the cage which it was kept in because it was my child's pet.
And it was skateboarding?
No, it wasn't skateboarding. My son was a skateboarder, and that's why he wanted the mouse on the skateboard.
What did you do with the mouse that you found?
Well, the first thing I did was I had to break the news to my son, and I said, your mouse is dead. So that was that covered. And then he said, oh, I don't want to lose him forever. And I said, in that case, it's the crash course at the taxidermy.
So wait a minute, the mouse dies.
Correct.
You have a conversation with your son. What are we going to do? Let's stuff him. I know, I'll learn. I won't get a professional animal stuffer.
And that's because...
I'll learn to do it. You ring up the course, they say there happens to be a 16-week course starting next week.
How many people were on the course?
I would say there was 12, 14, something like that. 12. There was 12.
12.
12, yes. Sorry, no, it was a disciples' convention.
Talk me through them. What sort of people were they?
It was Matthew, Mark, Luke... Oh, sorry, there was a guy called Thomas. He wasn't sure if he wanted to be there.
Tell us what you do.
The first thing you've got to do is always check that the mouse is actually dead.
So, sorry, it's always a... It's always a mouse. This course is just for mouse stuffers. No one had anything else they wanted to do. So everyone, all 12 of you turn up, sit down, get your mouse out.
You've got to remember that it's an introductory course. There was one guy, just one guy, Brian.
A good entry
turned up with a giraffe. He turned up with a giraffe and you went, you want the advanced course, mate, because we can't do this in 16 weeks. Next door, the one that's got the Velux windows. You can only stuff a giraffe if you've got Velux windows. That's the first thing you learn.
What did you scoop the inside out?
Thank you. Is someone finally interested in the art form? First thing you've got to do is get rid of the inside of the mouse.
How?
How do you do that?
How? Good question, sure. You get a sharp blade and you make an incision from the back of the skull all the way down to the tail.
So what happens when you make that incision down the spine?
Down the spine, yeah.
What happens?
So now I can only be described as a very, very horrific pop-up book. Because I opened it up and it's not a pretty sight. I would describe it as sort of mouse spine-like. I went all like that. And the fella said, first rule of get stuffed, taxidermy, crash course. He said, this is the interesting bit. He went, he's never, ever opened them from the back. Listen, you've got to learn, haven't you? You've got to learn. You've got to learn.
So what did you do?
Well, it means got me needle and thread.
So you stitched the mouse back up?
Stitch the mouse back up,
right.
Get him back to how he was.
Right.
Turn him over, slice down the middle.
And then what did you do?
You have to... Effectively, there's no easy way of saying it. I had to scrape out his insides.
With what?
With the tools that they give you.
What sort of tool is it?
Well, there's many tools. You know those weird things you get when you're trying to get the last bit of lobster out of the claw? Then it's like a little fork. It's got
It wouldn't work with a giraffe, though,
Oh,
would
no,
it?
just a giraffe. All you need for a giraffe is a spade and loads of bamboo.
OK, so you scoop out...
We learned that on day 4.
What do you put back in to give him that healthy...
You build individual fragments of bone shapes, but out of metal, and glue them all together. It takes 15 weeks on a Thursday night.
What do you think, David? It sounds very plausible to me, but what is your team?
Sheila, what do you think?
No, I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
I can't see why anyone wouldn't believe that.
I don't think there's any level on which any of us believe that.
They're saying it's a lie. Lee?
Yeah.
Is it the truth, or is it a lie?
Oh, I actually have to go through the thing of pressing the button. Lie. Possession.
Right, well, in that case, step this way and take the card, read the card to us, and then when you've done that, you can reveal your possession.
In Thailand, I paid £200 to have my portrait painted by a monkey. This is that portrait.
All right.
Can I give you that?
David, what do you think?
There you go.
Treasure it.
What colour shirt were you wearing?
You probably want to ask less what colour shirt I was wearing, what colours were available to the monkey at the time.
You don't particularly remember it's being green?
No, and I don't remember having 4 green ears either.
And what colours were available to the monkey? Blue, red, green, and its own excrement.
That's my face!
Can I just say, I was recently at a zoo where I was painting with chimps. In the North Wales, in the Colwyn Bay Mountain Zoo in Wales, and I tried to get them to paint stuff, and there's no way that they would have done that well.
I'm not being racist, but that's your Welsh chimp. That's all I'm saying.
How big was the chimp?
Well, let me remember now. He was sort of like this. He's about that big sat down.
Yeah.
So that plus a couple of chimp's legs.
I honestly don't think that a monkey... There's a sort of mouth on that, and his eyes, there's 2 blue blobs of eyes.
The monkey
monkeys can't do that.
You think it's too good, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the resemblance is too strong. You've even got your little squinty cockeyed eyes.
Don't push your luck. Things I have to put up with on the show. You're wondering why it's like this, OK?
No, it's him to do it. I'm not wondering why.
It could have been better, but he was a surrealist.
David, what are you going to say? Is this monkey story true?
I think it's a lie. I think it's an absolutely pointless act to get a monkey to paint a picture of you, and I think Lee would also have thought that.
I think Rod thinks it's a lie. We know that. Sally?
Yeah. He looks like a hard man.
Okay.
We wouldn't be easily...
So, David, you're saying lie?
I think we all think it's a lie,
OK. Lee?
I'm sorry, but it feels weird being up and not being able to press something. Do you mind?
Not at all.
It is, in fact, a lie.
Yes! What a surprise. It was a lie. Lee didn't...
It's a lie. How am I supposed to sell that as a truth? Do you know what? I'm glad it's not mine. Supposed to have a chance.
My 4-year-old son is watching.
Possession.
Right, box under the desk, Lee. I'd like you to read the card first and then show us what's in there, Lee.
I spent an entire year in a plastic work class at school, and this is the only thing I managed to make.
Plastic work? What is it?
What is it? I
don't know. Can we have a look?
Can you bring it up?
What is that, though?
Thank you. It's shit.
You bastard. And I treated your teddy bear with such respect.
What is it, though?
Ironically, it's a luggage tag.
Is it a luggage tag?
It's a keyring.
It's a keyring, what?
Oh, is it a keyring? What is it?
Are you a big sports fan, eh?
I do follow football.
Yeah, which team do you follow?
I follow Blackburn Rovers.
Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn doesn't begin with an L, does it? No, what was the LFC?
It was Liberace for Chancellor. It stands for Liverpool Football Club.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Why did you make a Liverpool Football Club keyring?
Because it
in
was
plastic work.
Because they didn't have blue and white plastic. Blackburn Rovers. They only had red plastic. So I thought, well, I'll give it the Liverpool Football Club because it's red.
Right.
When did you do it? What age were you when you did that? Was it at school then?
No, it was in Broadmoor.
You say it took you a year?
No, a year.
I mean, I've never heard of plastic work.
I know, well, the thing is, in 1982, plastic was the future.
Well, no, I don't in any way disparage plastic. That's fine. I like plastic. Plastic's very useful. But a class at school
called plastic
doing
work.
for plastic work.
How did you cut it? What did you
not
use?
like that.
I don't think you're in any position to get all haughty about your plastic cutting technique if this is the only evidence we have.
I must say, I don't believe this, but I'd love to know what this object is and who made it and why. But I think we think it's a lie.
Oh, a lie. It's a lie. OK, they say it's a lie. Lee, is it a truth or is it a lie?
It is, in fact, true. Plastic work. That was a lesson that never caught on. Plastic work.
Plastic work.
Does anyone else do plastic work?
Did you get marked on that? Was that
Yes, I
submitted
did
for
get marked.
What was your grade?
I got a 2-1 and we went straight to Oxford. What do you think?
Yes, it's true. I don't know exactly what LFC stands for, but I'm guessing the first word is lazy.